Do you all remember that one Pokemon episode where Ash and Co are traveling to the next gym? They meet someone raising a Pokemon, they learn about said Pokemon, only for Team Rocket to try and steal it, and they all come together to stop them by the end. And then the character just disappears? Yeah, that was an awesome episode. Wait, that's most of the show? Hold on! The Pokemon anime has had a lot of characters over the years, and a lot of that is because it's part of the typical episode formula. What I have described in the intro is how most non-gym / contest / showcase / league episodes go. Because of how, samey some of these episodes get in structure, this causes a lot of characters to sort of not be that fleshed out, as they're more or less props for the formula and disappear into the ether when their purpose is served. This, of course, doesn't make them bad. I have distinct memories of several of these characters, not even just from this formula, but from the show overall. There's a lot of characters in the anime that don't get the respect or love they deserve, and this is what we're discussing today. This list is not necessarily a ranking, more so just going down a list of certain characters I'd like to feature today. And why I believe, you're at the title of the video already. On to the list!
Your opponent's from the Cerulean City Gym. Her Pokemon has much more experience battling.
Let's start early in the show. In the 9th episode, Ash and Co run into Pokemon Tech, a prestigious school meant to give you Pokemon training in the form of schooling, with graduation granting you a trip to the Pokemon League. Here you meet a bunch of snobby rich kids, including our first character, Giselle. Now part of this one may be some bias. If you've been around this channel, you could probably conclude that I quite like rich characters, but she has such a memorable design and personality. The big thing of note with her is that she's the only person Ash has shown visible attraction to.
Yeah, you're right about that.
She can violate my rights if...
TMI, Brock. This means, shippers, that Giselle was actually the closest to getting with Ash. Misty who? Serena who? Nah, Ash X Giselle is canon. She does go through a mini arc in this episode. She starts off being snobby and stuck up, like how a lot of rich characters tend to be portrayed, and thinking she's a high talent trainer just because she does good in school, showing how sheltered she is by how this school operates. See, Pokemon Tech helps students learn battles through more technical means, via a simulation.
I always beat him on the simulator. See?
And yes, the simulation looking like a battle in the games is intentional, as it's meant to subtly imply that the battles in the anime don't work like the games, as Ash proceeds to beat her in an actual battle, by using Pikachu against a ground type, mind you. That and a Team Rocket battle humble her a bit, and teach her that she's still got a lot to learn. Honestly, I'd love to see an AU where Giselle wants to learn what being a trainer is really like, so she travels with Ash and Co to slowly learn what the world is like and come out of her shell, and you can tell I like writing rich girls.
And now for my first imitation, my impression of a Gloom.
Moving on to a bit later in the first season, we got Duplica. Introduced in Ditto's mysterious mansion, her and her Ditto make quite the splash. She first comes in dressed in her best Ash cosplay and trolls the hell out of them with her Ditto, who can perfectly imitate its opponents with Transform, which becomes a problem when Ditto can't transform its face to imitate the Pokemon perfectly, which becomes a problem in this performance thing she does.
Transform!
What I really love about her is how both the giant troll she is and how sweet she is to her Ditto. She is so determined to get this Ditto to get that perfect imitation, and it's kind of adorable. She does seem fairly popular among the fandom, but in her debut episode, she sticks out to me mostly because I actually had this episode on VHS as a kid. I definitely remember finding the Bulbasaur versus Bulbasaur fight hilarious. Oh, and in her second appearance, she has the wonderful addition to her team of a second Ditto. She's building an impressive solo run. Oh, and she looks like Hatsune Miku wearing a Steven Universe shirt. Now you can't unsee it either. Note, there will be a few characters that are in the games, but I am mainly going to be using their anime portrayals as well. That's the title of the video. So this is Todd, or Snap. Trust me, the naming here is confusing, and there is some 4Kids network broadcasty reason for that. Todd first showed up in Pokemon Paparazzi, and traveled with Ash and Co for 3 episodes. Yeah, but you forgot he was a traveling companion. He was mainly here to market Pokemon Snap, one of my favorite Pokemon spin-offs, mind you. And honestly, with how he's portrayed in the anime, he's kind of a proto-Tracy. Just replace sketching with photography. Okay, so his first appearance is just hilarious. It's set like he's about to fucking murder them.
Okay, I have the Pikachu in my sights. Now don't move.
His camera is even set up like a gun. Try that, 4 kids. Oh wait, this is the episode where you got the name of rice balls correct.
When you got lemons, you make lemonade. And when you got rice, you make rice balls.
He traveled with the gang for 3 episodes in Kanto and 3 episodes in Johto. And in the latter, he was on a journey to take a picture of an Articuno. Good to know he's moving places in life, though it's not as intense as in the game where he's trying to take a picture of Mew. I will say, he actually captures what it's like to take pics of your pets. He wants to take their pictures, but only in a natural pose, which is way harder to do once the cat looks at you. Now, he does come off as creepy and intrusive at first, which can be off-putting, but he does come around in the end, especially when after he gets the shot of Pikachu he wants and then willingly sacrifices his camera to save Ash. His highlight in the anime, though, has to be in the Breeding Center Secret, also known as the first appearance of Cassidy and Bitch.
The name is Butch.
Oh, come on, I'm sure you all thought that whenever anyone screwed his name up. But since Cassidy and Bruh are competent compared to Jesse and James, they successfully get Ash and Co. put in the slammer for a misunderstanding. They were able to manipulate the situation to work in their favor.
Great, now we're going to jail.
You sound too calm about this, Ash. But while Ash is in jail, which sounds like a meme in and of itself, we see that Todd was actually taking pictures of the evidence to clear their name and get Bitchy and Cassidy caught. He literally does this offhand while they're searching through the breeding center. It's really clever foresight, and hey, I always appreciate a nod to a great spin-off, so Todd needs more love.
Guess they're not automatic.
Keeping on the subject of characters from the games, we got Whitney. Hear me out. I'm sure every Pokemon fan knows Whitney, the normal-type Johto gym leader whose rollout-using, milk-drinking Miltank traumatized many 8-year-olds who didn't realize that there's literally an NPC that trades you a Machop right in the town for a Pokemon you can find right outside the town. But needless to say, Whitney's kind of a meme within the Pokemon fandom. The, Dark Souls of Pokemon, if you will. The evil demon who roadblocked and gatekept many children and drained their souls of the joy they had with the game. And in the anime, she's a fucking girl failure.
Come on, guys, just follow me through the automatic. Guess they're not automatic.
In a goldenrod opportunity, Whitney is first introduced to Ash as a random passerby in the town who shows them around, and she's proven to be quite scatterbrained with it.
Now we just take a little stairway over here that leads right up to the lobby.
No wonder it's a secret.
Just follow me. There's another shortcut right through here.
You're right on time. We could work on your Pokemon right away.
Now, it's also no secret that if you know me, you'd know I have quite a liking for girl failures in general, so Whitney was already at an advantage, but there's more reasons that I love this portrayal beyond personal bias. For one thing, despite being a total klutz, Whitney still successfully gatekeeps Ash from the badge with the same beginner's trap a lot of kids fell for. They start off destroying her because her first Pokemon's kind of a joke. And then when they get to Miltank, she uses Rollout a few times and sweeps through their entire team. This juxtaposed with her scatterbrain's clumsy side makes this list a lot more shocking for those who haven't played the games. Plus, the idea of a clumsy dumbass being super OP is just funny. It's also such a glow-up compared to how she is in the games, where she literally cries like a 4-year-old when you beat her. She also literally destroys Ash so hard that in the next episode, he considers quitting being a trainer.
Maybe this is the end. If I can't win that plane badge, maybe I should just head back to Pallet Town.
I reiterate, this fucking girl failure nearly ended Ash's career. Not even Tobias could do that, effectively making Whitney more powerful than Tobias. Oh, and apparently Whitney does this often.
A lot of Whitney's challengers wind up here with me. Totodile and Pikachu are in better shape than most of our other patients.
And Ash's Pokemon got up easier than others. She may have a body count. Now personally, I want to see how Whitney would fare against good old Eiko's Quesos. Speedrun the destruction of the Pokemon world.
But once I get that hot Electabuzz spirit flowing through its veins, it'll be an unstoppable inferno of strength and power!
Back to anime-only characters, we got a rival who frequently gets forgotten about in one of my personal favorites, Casey.
The all of Electabuzz, no other team's the same.
Casey first appeared in the Double Trouble header as a new trainer and basically plays the role of a youngster Joey who's about to fight you after you won the league. Oh man, Casey got wrecked here. But hey, you know, it's understandable, she's a new trainer. It could be a tough wake-up call that the role of a Pokemon trainer will be a tough one and that you should always remain calm and... He did what?
Chica! Chica, chica! Chica!
No, Lil Chiko, don't go for the Zard! It's not worth it! You'll be turned into fried salad!
Chica.
But other than that, Casey's main trait is being a huge baseball fan. Being a fan of the Chicago White Sox, the Electabuzz. They're about on the same level anyway. Cause yes, the Electabuzz are known as a jobber team. Watch as Ash roasts them.
This season they're gonna win the series!
No way! The Electabuzz will get creamed by teams like the Magikarp and the Starmie.
They're gonna beat everybody!
The Electabuzz couldn't beat an egg.
And what about all the great hitters that are on the Electabuzz?
Those guys aren't hitters. I've seen better swings on a playground.
Man, Ash wrecking her verbally too. But honestly, her spunky passion for this team is what makes me love her. There's just something so inspiring about watching her cheer on this team to this level, to the point of only wanting to capture yellow striped Pokemon to match their team colors. There's also a lot of nostalgia here since I grew up around a lot of Cubs fans, for the 3 people in the audience who are understanding my baseball references. Just wanted to root for a gang of lovable losers to beat all the odds and win it all. What always bothered me was how she's set up as this new rival for Ash and Johto, yet only appears 2 other times outside of Chronicles. And in her last appearance, she references only having 4 badges, meaning she doesn't even compete in the Johto League. I get that she's a rookie, but come on, frickin' Ash BS'd his way to a league in his first gym circuit. I'm sure he could justify it here. Oh well, Casey, you'll get to that league someday, and I hope you have a 2016 World Series moment with the Electabuzz.
Glad I found this Pikachu. I'm preparing a new trick for my magic show, and I need a Pikachu's Thunderbolt.
Now throughout this video, you're going to learn about all the character types and tropes I happen to love. Now we're on to a third one, Magician/Magic type girls. That Total Drama Magical Girls video should have tipped you off on that one. Now in the Pokemon world, we got creatures who can use fantastical, elemental, and magical powers, but that tends to be mostly limited to the creatures. Mostly. However, we're not talking about her. We'll be talking about an even lesser known magic girl, Lily. Not to be confused with Misty's sister, or the Sun and Moon character. She appears in the episode aptly titled Hocus Pokemon. First, let's briefly talk about her outfit. It's definitely more witch-like than magician-like, but it definitely works. Magicians do a lot more stage magic and sleight of hand, while Lily actually successfully performs magic. Yes, really. If you know anything about her episode, you would know that this is the episode where Ash got turned into a Pikachu. In one of the many examples of wasted potential in this series, but that's a topic for another day. Her main goal is creating a spell that'll allow humans to understand Pokemon, with a real spellbook for it and everything. She means business. This kind of concept is just so cool to have in the Pokemon world that I kinda wish more of the franchise explored this. But you know, she is remembered for one thing, spawning many Ash and Chew fanfics.
What? I'm a Pikachu? What?
Heracross versus another bug type like Cricketune. That Ash. What a fascinating choice.
Are you ever just indecisive in life? Have you ever hit a huge crossroad where there's 2 paths you can take that can lead you down the road to 2 completely different lives? And do you ever just think, why not both? That's the story of Nando, a rival introduced in the 4th episode of the Diamond and Pearl anime that brings forth this idea. First off, I love his design. Super majestic, and the addition of a harp adds to it. Also, being a fellow grass-type enthusiast, I appreciate the use in Roserade as a partner. But more importantly, this concept felt so fresh. At this point in the anime, trainers going for the league and coordinators going for the grand festival felt like they were entirely different calibers and required different skill sets. Nando being able to successfully bring these 2 together really shows off his impressive talent. It also allowed for him to have different rival dynamics with Ash and Dawn, which helped make him more memorable. Honestly, looking back on his team, I love his taste in Pokemon. Roserade and Altaria especially. He seems to have a preference for both majestic Pokemon and grass types. Heck, he made use of Sunflora, which is impressive. Essentially, his role is making majestic Pokemon into badasses.
It's our opinion.
Opinion?
Hey, Kai, I think you mean our Dominion.
Yeah, that's right, it's our Dominion.
XY is a series with several fan-favorite episodes and battles. However, the one we'll be focusing on is the 49th episode, Bonnie for the Defense, which has our next underrated character, or rather characters, in the Lapras Defense Force. This was a trio of kids who befriended Bonnie and make it their goal to protect this Lapras from suspicious adults. Or rather, they just don't trust any adult with this Lapras. Yeah, I kinda got Kids Next Door vibes from them.
As you can clearly see, LeBron James.
This trio was just fun. Their childlike view of the world and adults helped them stand out, and the way they bounced off each other was just great.
You always keep candy in your pocket, so give me some right now.
Heidi's right. Just a piece.
Oh, all right.
The mispronunciations they make really sells it. They're probably one of the most realistically written kids in the anime. Their kid logic of why they hate adults makes sense from a child perspective. Pokemon Hunter hurt Lapras. That's bad. Hunter equals grown-up. Grown-up bad. Though there may be even more bias from me since their leader looks quite familiar. Not to mention her name is Heidi. For shilling of my webcomic aside, the other two are named Jay and Kyle. Their interactions with Bonnie really helped me sell this, as most of the episode really does feel like kids getting too into a game. Ash, Serena, and Clement kind of take a back seat in this one, as the most they do is just defend them from Team Rocket. Really makes me wish they showed up again. You just know Bonnie would run into them at some point in a scenario where she gets older and becomes a trainer. And now on to the last character we'll be talking about. It's no secret that a lot of characters of the day in Pokemon tend to not have much going for them in terms of memorability. You may end up finding one cool or liking the design of one, but it's super rare that you get attached to the episode arc of a character of the day. However, to end this off, I'd like to focus on a certain character who appeared in Journeys.
Hi, Regina! Where are you from?
How long will you be here?
Tell me everything about Glaceon!
This is Regina. She appears in the episode Breaking the Ice and comes off as quite reserved. However, she's able to befriend Chloe and she shows her around. Regina has a Glaceon who she's quite close to. So close in fact that when the class keeps bombarding her with questions and she looks overwhelmed, this Glaceon, named Mircha, uses Blizzard to freeze everyone. This is where you learn what's extra fascinating about her. Mircha freezes anyone that's bothering Regina, as shown in this flashback where she's getting bullied.
Sure you are. You look just like one. You're the Ice Queen. You're the Ice Queen.
She's clearly doing this to protect her, but it's also ruining her ability to make friends, and has caused her to move schools constantly. It really helps show me this side of the Pokemon world that I never really thought of. While there are episodes that are school, they're not really explored as deep. I'm talking normal school, not like the class in Sun and Moon, by the way. What if someone with Pokemon is harshly bullied? How would a Pokemon who has built a strong bond with their trainer react? Is this common? It is shown in Journeys that there are kids who, despite turning 10, choose to stay in school rather than becoming trainers. However, Pokemon can still be pets. Mircha doesn't mean harm, she just wanted to protect her. You totally understand both parties' struggles here. Also, can I just say, the visuals in this flashback are just beautiful. Specifically this shot of a younger Regina frozen in ice around an army of kids. It really helps showcase how isolated Regina is from others in an emotionally artistic way. Not to mention, Chloe and Regina's friendship is just so pure. Even after the destruction her Glaceon caused, she's still by her side. She, along with Ash and Go, even defend her when they think she's at risk of getting expelled. And with the help of all the new friends she made, she grows her own confidence.
I'll get stronger. From now on, I'm going to be Mircha's protector.
This episode has a really wholesome ending of Mircha making a really fun-looking ice ride for the whole class to play on, and it's just a joy to watch. Honestly, she might just be my favorite character of the day in the whole anime, and that's saying something given how many there have been. She even starts doing Pokemon training at the end. Her arc hits all the emotional beats in such a beautiful way, and I wish she had more appearances after this. So yeah, feel free to comment some underrated anti-Poke characters you think I forgot, and do whatever likey, subscribey thing if you like. See you next time!